Welcome. Today we are going to discuss and review the Ensso bolt action fountain pen. Big thanks to channel supporter Hellcat for sending this one in for review. When you get your Ensso, it will come in a box like this. You can go ahead and pull it out. A little bit of presentation there, nothing too fancy. Now, why is this special? Why is this kind of making a splash in the machine/fountain pen world? Let's show you. What is a bolt action? A bolt action is a style of machined pen where you have a bolt that you use your fingers to actuate here. So here's a tactile turn bolt, and here's a Q3D bolt, for example. Now, why bolts? These are super fidget friendly because you can just go back and forth all day. In fact, if you go back and you listen to my video where I interviewed this maker, for the first 5 or 10 minutes, you could hear me. You could hear that in the background because I was fidgeting with it. However, you don't have to make noise, so you can activate it at your own speed, which means you get to control any sort of noise from that fidgeting too. So it's super fidgetable, and it's a newer trend in pens. Now, in the fountain pen world, that's pretty much unheard of. Most fountain pens are going to be, something like this, kind of capped, or even a one-handed example. Something else not many people in the fountain pen world are doing is using titanium. So this is a full titanium pen, at least as far as I know. I actually wonder about the clip and the bolts, but when I try and anodize them, we'll find out and let you know. All right, so now you know what a bolt is. Now let's take a look at the application in a fountain pen. Fountain pens are typically carried nib up, right? So the clip holds the nib face up in your pocket. And the reason is because fountain pens use a water-based ink. Water-based ink flows way more gently and smoothly, which is one of the attributes that makes them so popular. But some of the downfalls is it splashes easier than a gel-based ink. All right, because you guys are you and you're awesome, I'm going to show you just what we're talking about. And so if you were to have a fountain pen, right, and it's nibbed down and it's jostled, let me see if you can try and see this here. Ready? Yeah, do you see that? Okay, so that is all ink that when it's jostled about could be in your pocket or on the desk. I've literally done that with this exact pen, been in a meeting and been like talking wildly with my hands, and I did have a drip or two of ink. Luckily, it was nothing anybody saw, and I cleaned it up after the fact, but it's an inconvenient truth of water-based inks, which are one of the special factors that make fountain pens as smooth as they are. So it's kind of you got to take it as you can. That is something to be considered, and that is one of the downfalls of a fountain pen. Now we come back to our Ensso. Okay, this as a bolt action, all the actuation is up here, which means this is nib down. This is carried nib down. Let's contrast that to the vanishing point, which is another one-handed operation. This one's a click pen, and as you can see, when you put it in your pocket, the nib is up. So that already solved that issue. Now this one is carried nib down. So that's the big deal, people. It has a bolt action, which is super fidgety and hasn't really been done in the fountain pen world that I know of. It's titanium, which is very rare in the fountain pen world, but it's carried nib down. And that is one of the things we're going to talk about more. So before we get into the nitty gritty, let's talk about this. The body is smooth cylinder. It is no shaping or milling from what I can feel. There's no ribbing like you would see in a tactile turn or anything like that. It is literally just kind of a smooth exterior here. The nose cone is very high, as you can see, which means when you grip it and index it, you don't feel any seams whatsoever because the seam is in front of your fingers. It does come without a clip with a different top. However, you can remove the clip, as if you watch my original unboxing video I did, you can remove the top and then install a clip here with a different top. So this one is tightened when you spin the cap, which is independent of the clip, so you can position the clip where you like. But sometimes what I find is this cap here, because it's just hand turned, it might become a little bit loose. So you've got the clip, which is repositionable there with a different end cap. And then you also have the bolt. Now the bolt itself is really nice. It kind of looks like a cog or a gear in a motor. And, this gives you a really tactile feel. So that the bolt itself is nice and grippy. It's easy to actuate, so that's nice. Let's look at the bolt itself. the bolt itself, when you pull it down and to the right, there's no kind of smooth motion. It's 90 and then 90 up pretty much, like 90 degrees over, 90 degrees up. So like this is very kind of traditional and static in a way. Let's compare that to a great example of a more organic feel. So this is a tactile turn, right? You can see that entire path of the bolt is kind of gliding down and to the right, so it makes it easier to actuate. Not that this is a problem to actuate, but it's just something about the motion. It's more mechanical in nature. It's less fluid or organic when you actuate it. Let's take a look as well at the actual length of the throw. So the length of the throw is greater than most other pens that we'll find in the machined market. Let's take a look at the throw of the Q3D. So you've got the throw there versus that long throw over here. Now you can also see these other ones are designed so that when it is active, the chamber on the inside is protected by the length of the bolt itself, right? No grit is getting in there versus this is now open when you activate it. Again, it's a small gripe because, you know, when are you going to be using your pen? Probably not in the dirt and the dust, right? You're only going to activate it and give it that access when you're in a protected location about to write, but still it's there. Now you can watch my complete disassembly on my unboxing where I swapped the clips, but just to show you in the review here, the nose cone comes off, and actually we're going to talk about this in a bit. Note the ink on the inside there. See that all the threads? That's actually blue ink. It's not anodized blue. All right, so we've got the nose cone. We've got our spring here, which actually looks very well protected from ink. So, as in there's no ink on it. And then we've got our nib. Now, notice that nib pattern there, how it's inky on one part but not in the rest. Now we can go ahead and take this out, right? So past that, we've got our converter that comes with it. And otherwise, we've just got a hollow tube with our bolt and our cap. Note that you can kind of reposition this as you want because it's just activated by the bolt. So there's no alignment, so to speak. So you can kind of literally play with the alignment until you're happy. However, it is kind of aligned in a 90-degree axis because this cap on the inside has a gasket with an X or a plus cut into it, however you want to term that. So it's got kind of that 90-degree axis rotation. So at the end of the day, it's still going to fit through one of those, which is decided by that gasket's alignment there. Now the pen does come with 2 extra gaskets. So when this pen first came on the market, that was the thing that kind of concerned me. Some people said, hey, are you going to go ahead and grab that pen to try? And I had said, like, I'm really intrigued. I like the bolt action. I'm intrigued by it. However, after working on a myriad of things that have plastic bushing type components, you know, between my 25-year-old truck to my paintball guns that I was working on, and I still have that are 25 years old now. So like I've got a lot of older plastics and O-rings and bushings that I've had the experience of working on after 10, 15, 20 years. And I can say those things do not hold up with the elasticity, right? So they over time are going to stiffen. So that worried me in a pen where, you know what I mean? Like your entire gasket protecting your nib down watery ink, like we showed you the disadvantages of how it drips, right? So it's nib down, and now you're telling me it's just a gasket with like an X cut into it. I'm kind of a little bit skeptical and paranoid. So that's one of the reasons I didn't really pick this up initially, but I was happy to get it for review because it made such a splash. So that's the whole thing with this pen, right? It's carried nib down. It does have that gasket. You get 2 extra ones. So, you know, there's no worries there, but, you know, it's carried nib down. And at the end of the day, personally, I would rather the trapdoor of the vanishing point, which is carried nib up in addition for safety, versus kind of the nib down with a plastic gasket. Now, that said, that out of the way, I put this thing through the ringer, okay? When I first got it, I even put up a video on YouTube of me jumping on the trampoline. Later that day, I played some spirited badminton, you know, with my family, and then I ended up having to chase a runaway dog. So at that, I was running full out for a while. You can see in that original video that my initial tests of it were fantastic. On the trampoline, it did really well. And I do think the downfall later on was, if you see in that video, I really forcibly tapped it, and any fountain pen would have dripped ink at that point. Now, you can see in that video, nothing came out. So that gasket did a great job of actually protecting anything from that ink. However, after, 5 more hours at the end of the day, when I came home and I kind of looked at the inside of my pocket, there was like a drip of ink. It came out, it's water-based ink. I'm not too worried about it, you know what I mean? But that was the kind of my worst fear realized. And that comes with this pen. Now, the next 2 days I carried this, I did so in a regular fashion. I, drove, I sat at desks, I walked around a bit, I did my errands and chores, but I wasn't jumping on a trampoline or chasing dogs. And those days, there was absolutely no kind of drip or inkage at all. So, this pen overall, I think did fantastic. I trusted enough to carry if I were to carry it in an everyday office setting. Would I take it if I'm about to go for, a trail jog or go camping for a weekend? Maybe not, because I know it might be a little bit more kind of, prone to some leakage. What I will say though, the interesting fact was when I did tap it, nothing came out initially. Basically, this cap did a great job otherwise of protecting ink. There was like a drip here. This cap did a great job otherwise of protecting me from the ink that did seep from it. So I will give them props there. The gasket, it worked well enough. All right, so now let's get to it, right? So you've got this bolt action fountain pen. You can activate it that way. Let's go ahead and jump into here's some Rhodia paper. And this one happens to be a fine, which is probably good because, as I said, your ink seepage from jumping around and, jostling happens to go up as you go from a fine to a bold up into a flex. So this fine worked fine. I mean, it's a fountain pen, so it is smoother than a ballpoint, right? It was impressive. I had a couple people kind of comment on it. One thing that was noticeable when it was right out of the box, the action was very stiff. Now on most titanium pens, on my machine pens, I'll use a nano oil on the bolt. This one, it's stiff because of the gasket. So once you actually put some ink into your pen, as you can see the nib gets a little bit inky, that lubricates the gasket. And that's why I showed you that line of delineation earlier where you could see the ink on the naked nib and then there was no ink below. That's because that's the gasket. And so that gasket itself is kind of lubricated with your ink. So when you ink it up, it is smooth as can be, right? There's nothing holding it back. It's good to go. But that was one thing I saw from other people commenting saying, oh, it's super stiff. When you go ahead and ink it up, there's no stiffness. You're good to go. All right, and as you can see there, right, so you can go in and out and do your fidgeting factor or whatever you want to do, and then you can just kind of continue writing. So it does have that smooth writing of a fountain pen, and it is in a nice small form. So let's go ahead and look at a nib of a vanishing point. So you can see the nibs are very similarly sized, okay? The Ensso is a little bit smaller. So if you're coming from a vanishing point, you basically get the same feel. It's just a hair smaller. So with your nibs, they are steel nib and you can get them in extra fine, fine, or medium. So you've got some smaller options there for your nibs, a steel nib, but kind of at this price point for this pen, it's basically what I would expect. You can still get this pen for less than $100 at the Kickstarter price. There are additions you can add. You can get different sized additional nibs. You can get more seals, the gaskets on the inside. So there's different things. The clip is extra, so you can kind of add things onto it, but the base price is still under $100 for a full titanium pen, which is pretty cool. You do have a full titanium fountain pen, which is really cool. You do have a bolt action titanium fountain pen, which is pretty much unheard of, and that's where we find this pen, in this kind of unique niche that lends itself to kind of collectors of machined pens. So people who have collections of machined pens are going to be really interested by this pen because it is a full titanium bolt action pen. Not only that, it's a fountain pen, which doesn't really exist so far. And then we've got fountain pen collectors that are intrigued by this because it is just so unique. It's a nib down bolt action full titanium fountain pen. You don't hear that. You don't see that often. So this, on the unique scale, on the cool scale, is way up there. And as far as the innovation scale, I'll give them that, man. They innovated well. You don't see these on the market. This is the only type of action of a fountain pen like this that I know of. The fact that you can get the clip and, different interchangeable nibs is really cool too. So for all the innovation that they did on this, it's really cool. They did a great job. And now the rubber meets the road. Here's where the nitty meets the gritty. Here we go. What do I actually think about this, right? So just as that person reached out to me and they said, hey, are you planning on getting one of these? I said, I'm not really comfortable with the Nib Down Carry, and I don't like the idea of a plastic gasket being my only, source of prevention between that ink reaching me. So that's kind of where I am still. If you are in the market for like a fountain pen, a one-handed fountain pen, I'm sorry, I think there's better options out there that give you ultra security because it's carried tip up still. You've still got a fountain pen. This one has a gold nib for, maybe about $50 more than the steel nib on this one that you would pay for. So, you've got a gold nib, one-handed operation, and it's carried tip up. So you don't have any of those downfalls with a vanishing point, right? With this one, you can't say that. It's nib down. It's a steel nib, and, the cool factor is that it is a bolt action and it's titanium. Now, titanium means I can anodize it. I'm actually going to go ahead and anodize this for the channel sponsor as like a thank you for sending it in. At which point I can let you know if the clip and the bolt anodize along with it, so how that goes. They all appear to be grade 5 titanium, but maybe the clip maybe just has a different finish or something, I'm not sure. So we'll take a look at that. Anyway, so where this lies, the niche that kind of the market that it's going for is almost the machine market, really. This made a bigger splash in the machine market than it did into the fountain pen market, because this is like classic machined pen, right? We've got a titanium bolt action pen, and it's a fountain pen. Did I mention that? That's really cool, guys. If you are a machine pen person, this is super unique, and this occupies a very unique place in your collection. That said, if I'm going to grab a bolt action, I'm probably not going to pick this one over some of my others. That being because the length of the throw, along with that kind of 90 degree up angle, so it's less organic of a throw. And I gotta say that downfall of carrying a water-based ink nib down. So all those things do come to mind. So there you have it. My thoughts on the Ensso. I think it's really innovative. I think they are unique. They are kind of targeting a niche market, which is really cool because there are definitely collectors out there who would seek this thing out. I do enjoy the kind of tactile sensation of the cog type milling that they did on the bolt itself. And, I like that they put the seam of the nose cone very far down so you don't feel that. So there's some definite things to love about this. Hey, it's a fountain pen, and you can use some beautiful smooth ink in it, and it's unique. It'll, draw some attention if you're at a meeting. And after carrying it around for a couple days in an office-like manner, I would say I'm fine carrying this in an office. I'm not going to go, running around with this in my pocket, but then again, you could say that of a lot of fountain pens, really. I mean, none of them are going to do really well when you're running around. Thank you for watching our review of the Ensso. Stick around because I'm going to anodize this at some point, and then I will show you the results of the anodization too. Thank you for your innovation, Ensso, and I love that you've offered something that is unique and really cool. Let me know what you think. Do you have one of these? Because I know a lot of people do. Let me know how your first experiences have been with them. Have you had any issues with any sort of seepage or leakage from the tip down carry? And let me know your overall thoughts. Where does this sit in your collection? Is this something that's going to get more EDC use than other pens? Or is this something that kind of sits in almost a novelty area? Thank you for watching, and we hope to have you along for more reviews and fun hijinks in the future.